I was part of a committee that was used to choose a capital campaign consultant, and I remember at one of the meetings, one of the guys was saying something about the different things that people had done in choosing gifts, and I don't remember who it was. In fact, I don't remember a lot of things these days, but I do remember what he said about this particular item. And I went home that night and mentioned it to Fray, and she was willing to consider it.
When Jeff came home from that committee meeting and shared with me what the consultant had suggested, my first reaction was that may be what God is calling Jeff and I to do.
And as we've thought about it through the months, we have decided that we believe the Lord wants us to sell our house. And so we'll be doing that in the spring, and Lord willing, we'll be able to, once we sell the house, we're going to be moving in with Whitings. And well, maybe not. We'll probably find another house, a smaller house, and we'll be able to use the difference to give to the campaign. So that's our plan. I enjoy doing these videos about as much as I like going to the dentist. Maybe less, but I just feel compelled to tell what God has done for us. He has been so good. So the story, I view it in two parts. Part one, I'll call it, is the finding of the new house. And we were looking for what seemed like quite a while.
We began looking at homes the middle of January. We knew that God had a house out there for us, but every one that we looked at just wasn't right. We kept looking until early April, and by that time I was beginning to feel that the timing of just buying and selling a home with the joyous wedding we were now planning just was never going to work out, and I was ready to postpone looking at homes until after the wedding was over.
And then we came across this listing for 240 Willow Creek, and it looked pretty good to me. So I called Fray and said, let's look at this one.
I was ready to walk out of there in 15 minutes and be home, but an hour and a half later, we were ready to make an offer on that home.
It turns out it was a foreclosure, and a person bought it who buys houses, renovate them and resell them. And he just put a lot of effort into this. He redid the kitchen. He new granite countertops, new appliances, beautiful cherry cabinets, hardwood floors throughout, brand new carpeting throughout. Repainted the whole place. He redid the basement and finished that off. It's just amazing. One of the things that God did that was just amazing to me, and we found this out just a few days after we purchased it, was that here we have this beautiful house that has all of these amazing upgrades, and we ended up getting that for $6,000 less than what the house sold for when it was brand new in 2003. It's just mind-blowing.
We then put our own house up on the market.
Within a week, we had two offers, one outbidding the other and getting us to the point where, to the dollar, we got the price that we had hoped we might get when we started this process months ago. So again, God was just amazing about that.
God worked out the timing with purchasing Willow Creek such that we will be moved in there by July 4th weekend.
Not even, it doesn't even stop there, because the next step is, the house is 80 plus years old. It has quite a few things on my list still of things to do. And the question is, when they went through and did the inspection in our house, what would they ask us to fix up before they bought it? So we were waiting through the days after the purchase offer was accepted to have the inspection and the radon test and all those wonderful things. And we finally got the word that the number of things that they wanted us to do before they would buy our house was exactly 0. Nothing, not one thing. It was just, I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. So God was amazing.
God asked us to sell the home that we've had for almost 22 years, and yet I am really excited about moving into this new home and the opportunities He's going to give us there, and it is going to be home. So I'm joyful about that.
The one thing that I've learned that God has reinforced over and over through this process in my thick brain, I guess, is that He is faithful. I trusted Him for the big things. I knew He'd get us a house. I kind of knew He'd sell our existing house. What I wasn't prepared for and was maybe still not completely trusting for was the way in which He did that, the way He pulled that off. Orchestrated all the events, put them all together, made our house sell in a week. And we didn't have to fix anything after that. It was just amazing. And He continues to do that. Silly little things like buying lawnmowers and maybe not so silly things, but trying to be committed to our commitment for the capital campaign. And in spite of some additional bills during this time right now, we still want to be faithful to that, and He still provided the funds to keep that up. So God has truly been faithful, and I've begun to recognize that in a way I have not before.
And He's taught me that I don't need to fear letting go of things because He has great plans, and I can trust Him.